So in this video, I'm going to quickly show how you can brew coffee very simply with the Phin filter. This is the Vietbrew Phin that I'm using. You just keep the cup and then you can put the Phin on the top. Just take out the lid. So these are the parts of the Phin. You have the lid, you have the press. This is the thing that you use to press the coffee with. And then you will have these two parts which you just put on top of the cup. Now the way that this is designed is that it could fit any cup. In this case, I'm using a standard coffee cup. You could be using a mug like this and it would just fit any of those sizes. I prefer to use a glass because then you can see the coffee drip. So I'm just going to put this Phin on top. So these are the two parts that I'm putting right now. And these two I'm going to keep on the side for now. So you want to take water at around 90 to 92 degrees. That's where you'll get a slightly less bitter profile, slightly sweeter profile. But if you go for 92, 93, 94, then you will see a slight bitterness coming in. The Phin coffee is dense and it's a very portable device. As you can see, you can carry this with you anywhere. So for now, I'm just going to clean this up. So I'm just going to put some hot water again at around 92 degrees right now. It's going to go down to 90 degrees very soon. And I'm just going to put this water out. Now your cup is clean, your Phin is ready, and then you're just going to turn this on. So you don't need a weighing scale. I'm using a scale here. I'm starting with 0 and I'm going to put one of these coffees. So if you have the white one, you have the Vietbrew Elegant, which is Arabica. If you have the black one, you have the Bold, which is Robusta. These are the two variants of coffee that we have. You may also have the roasted bean, in which case you'll have to get it ground Phin size, which is a fine size grind for the coffee. Okay, so let's see how we measure the coffee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how many spoons you have to add and measure it at the same time. So I add the first spoon, that's around 6 grams, 5 to 6 grams. I add the second spoon, around 9 to 10 grams. I add 3 spoons, so that's around 12 grams. And then the fourth spoon will make it around 16 grams. 16 grams is what I would say is like the minimum. I would say 15, 16 grams. You can start there and you can go up to 18, even 20 grams based on how strong you like your coffee. So we have the coffee ready here. Okay. And you just want to even it out a little bit. So just even it out by tapping it from each side. So you have an even looking top of the coffee. Again, you can see the grind size is fine. So it's almost like sea salt. I think that's the way that you can visualize the grind size. Once you're ready, what you're going to do is you're going to use the press and then you're just going to press it a little bit. Okay. And you might want to turn it a little bit so that you flatten the top surface. Once you've done that, and when you feel pressure, so you don't want to press it too much. It's not a French press. So when you feel the pressure, you just stop at that point of time. Okay, now we have a nice even surface. We stop when we feel the pressure. And then we're going to take the water. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to test. So now we are at 0. We're starting from 0. If you don't have the scale, I'll tell you how to measure this. But if you have a weighing scale, you have to start the timer and start pouring water until you reach 30 grams or 30 ml. Both are the same thing because of the density of water. So 30, wait for 30 and then wait for 30 seconds to 1 minute. So that's around 30 grams of water. I'm going to wait now for the timer to hit 30 seconds, 40 seconds, around that much. This is the process where the coffee will bloom and the CO2 will go out. So we have to wait before we cover the Phin and put more water. Now this 30 grams, if you don't have this measuring, you can see that it just covers the top of the Phin. So it's not a lot of water. It just covers the top of the Phin. As soon as the water comes on top of the Phin, you stop. So you don't need this. If you just eyeball it, that's how they do it in Vietnam as well. Now, once you see that the drip starts flowing, you can cover the entire thing with water around 70%. So you can see that the top handle of the Phin will be covered in water when you hit around 70%. And in terms of the measurement, let's see how much that is. So we're just going to cover the top. So you should not be able to see the top. That's how I visualize it. If you don't have a measuring device, I think that's the best way to see it. So you should not be able to see the top of the fin. Okay, so that's going to be around 120 ml. So around 120, I stop and I cover my fin. That's about it. Now you see the timer is running, and before it hits 5 minutes, my coffee is going to be ready. You can see the beautiful drip. You can move it around slightly, don't move it around too much, but you can see the drip is happening from the center of the cup, which is a good sign that we brewed the coffee decently well, because the surface was even and hence the drip is happening from the center. And even the frequency of the drip seems nice. So we are at 2 minutes now, and by the time this hits 5 minutes, my coffee is going to be ready. So that's the simple way that you brew our Vietbrew coffee with the Phin. And it's very easy to use. The Phin is available in the black and the gold colors, so you can choose the color that you prefer. And that's about it. Is as simple as that. If you drink your coffee with condensed milk, which is cafe sir, then you have condensed milk at the bottom. I would say around 18 grams works for me. Some people use more if you like it more sweet, 20 grams. So again, 2 to 3 tablespoons of this is a decent way to sort of measure it. And you can play around with the number of spoons. Once you adjust to the coffee, you'll know what exactly works for you. So that's how simple it is to make Vietbrew coffee with a Phin.